Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back to another episode of FutureDrBrynn, where I, Brynn, run you through my understanding of a topic in psychology while I step into my second year of my doctoral degree. Today we're exploring imposter syndrome. You know what I'm talking about? We'll discuss what it is, why it happens, and how to prevent it, or move through it if you're feeling it right now, and I hope you leave with a little more confidence. Okay, let's look at a couple of examples so we know what we're dealing with. You have this really great job, maybe it's the job of your dreams, but you look around and you think someone's gonna find out you're a fraud, and you're gonna lose this job. Or you're in university, you've finished your finals, and you get your grades back. All A's. But your first thought isn't, man, I really worked hard for that. Your first thought is, oh, they must mark easier for exams. Or you get an award, and you're standing on stage and they pass it over to you, and you're thinking to yourself, well, gosh, I don't know why I deserve this. Even though it was clearly a voting system, and everyone voted for you. And maybe you avoid taking chances because there are people far more qualified than you. Ultimately, imposter syndrome is when people are giving you credit for something and you feel like you're actually not that good, you slipped into the role undetected, you feel like you're gonna be found out as a fraud. And really you're just buried under a mountain of self-doubt. These are all examples of something that might be considered imposter syndrome. You feel like you don't deserve what you've been given. But we all know you're quite capable and competent. But that self-doubt voice in your head is just saying, no, I just got lucky. Sound familiar? So what leads to this? Well, it seems that personality might be one factor. You might be a person who feels they need to be perfect at everything or just not try at all, even if it's on the first try. This is called perfectionism. Or you may be someone who generally just struggles with self-confidence. Or maybe you find yourself to be quite anxious regarding the uncertainty of what could happen. Another possibility could be the way we grew up or the environment that we currently surround ourselves with. Both of these things can impact our perception of our accomplishments. Were you often reminded to not inconvenience someone else or to not question things? Well, if you were and you internalized those thoughts, they can eat away at our confidence and make us question ourselves instead. Here's an interesting fun fact. Although it's not uncommon at all for men to feel this way, it's a phenomenon more often felt by women in general, but more specifically women of color. Not so much of a fun fact. But did you know that there is actually an adaptive function to imposter syndrome? I bet you probably work harder to prevent people from finding you out. It can act as a motivator for success. Now, doesn't mean that it feels very good. Okay, so Brynn, you've just told us what imposter syndrome is, but you didn't tell us how to prevent it. I got you. What's one way of preventing imposter syndrome? Start to build your confidence. Well, how do I do that? How do I build my confidence? Well, to start, and I want everyone to hear this, say it with me. When someone compliments you, you say thank you. When someone compliments you, you say thank you. It's a simple response, but so many of us don't do that, including me. I'm working on it. So instead of saying, oh gosh, no, it wasn't that good, or, oh, thanks, but it was actually so-and-so's idea, just say thank you. Oh, thank you, I really appreciate that. If taking a compliment to heart is too much of a dive into the deep end, perhaps consider this. The moment you minimize someone's compliment to you, you're minimizing that person and that person's personal perspective. Stop negating someone's opinion of you. That's how they see you, whether you feel it or not. And unless that opinion is something negative towards you, you don't have to do anything other than enjoy it. I'll give you one more stepping stone. If saying thank you and leaving it at that seems a little too scary, try thank you for letting me know, and then graduate to thank you when you're ready. Okay, we talked about what imposter syndrome is, we talked about how to prevent it, but what do you do if you're feeling it? What do you do if you feel like an imposter? Look for the evidence. Look for the evidence. Look for the evidence that you are supposed to be in that room, that you are supposed to get that promotion, that you are supposed to get that award, that you are supposed to get that compliment. Let's put it this way. There's a low probability that you would be in the situation or the position that you are if you didn't have some qualifications. I doubt you're not exactly where you're supposed to be. You've probably taken classes or graduated in your field. Or maybe you didn't go to school for it, but you've had a passion for it your whole life and you've just been learning things along the way. Or maybe you worked your darn butt off. I saw you. You put a lot of work into that job application. Instead of looking for and worrying about the reasons why you shouldn't be there or you shouldn't receive the praise for your efforts, why don't you try looking for the reasons why you should? And most importantly, treat yourself like your best friend. Change takes time, and implementing something like this can be a bit of a challenge, so have compassion for yourself. And when in doubt, be like Snoop. Snoop it out? Thank yourself for believing in yourself and putting the effort in. And that's it for imposter syndrome. I'll see you next time. Check out my other videos, I've got more to come, and hit that subscribe button. See you later.